Moving forward from the discussions of prayer and God's desire for all people to be saved, Paul's letter to Timothy in 1 Timothy, chapter 2, verse 5, deepens the theological grounding of these concepts by introducing a central tenet of Christian faith. For there is one God and one mediator between God and men, the man Christ Jesus. This verse succinctly captures the essence of Christian monotheism and Christology, and it holds profound implications for our understanding of salvation and intercession. The assertion that there is one God underscores the foundational belief in monotheism, which distinguishes Christianity from polytheistic religions where multiple gods are worshipped, each with different roles and attributes. This belief in one God emphasizes his sovereignty and uniqueness, which is a cornerstone of Christian theology. It speaks to the nature of God as the supreme being who is omnipotent, omnipresent, and omniscient, ruling and sustaining all creation with perfect unity and singularity of purpose. Following this declaration of one God, Paul introduces the concept of one mediator, Christ Jesus, further clarifying the unique role of Jesus in Christian faith. The term mediator refers to one who acts as a go-between, a bridge that spans the divide between two parties. In the context of spiritual matters, this is particularly significant because it addresses the problem of sin, which separates humanity from a holy and righteous God. According to Christian doctrine, sin cannot coexist with God's purity, and therefore a mediator is necessary to reconcile humanity to God. The choice of the word mediator is also significant because it reflects not just the function of reconciling, but also implies the act of intervention on behalf of others, which is exactly what Jesus did through his life, death, and resurrection. Jesus Christ, being fully God and fully man, embodies the perfect and only bridge between God and humanity. His dual nature allows him to fully represent humanity before God, having experienced human life, suffering, and temptation, yet without sin. Simultaneously, his divine nature ensures that his sacrifice on the cross was sufficient to atone for the sins of all humanity, because only an infinite and perfect being could bear such a weight. This mediation achieved through Christ is not a repetitive or ongoing process requiring continual sacrifices, but a completed act, once and for all, accomplished through his death and confirmed by his resurrection. This is vital because it means that no further sacrifices are required to access God's forgiveness and grace. Instead, it is freely available to all who accept Christ's mediation through faith. The specificity of calling Jesus the man Christ Jesus also carries deep theological importance. By emphasizing Jesus' humanity, Paul highlights the accessible and relatable aspect of Jesus. He walked among us, shared in human experiences, and thus fully understands our struggles and pains. This makes his role as mediator not only a legal or sacrificial role, but a deeply personal one. Believers can approach God with confidence, knowing that their mediator knows firsthand what it is to be human. For Christians today, this verse has multiple layers of application. It reinforces the centrality of Christ in personal faith and corporate worship, reminding us that no other intermediary, such as saints, angels, or priests, is required or sufficient to mediate between God and man. This has implications for prayer and worship as believers direct their prayers to God through Jesus Christ alone. Furthermore, understanding Christ as the sole mediator enhances the believer's appreciation of the gospel's uniqueness and the profound gift of having direct access to God through Christ. It serves as a unifying doctrinal anchor in a world where religious pluralism often dilutes the distinctiveness of Christian claims about salvation and God's nature. Moreover, this doctrine encourages a relational approach to faith, knowing that Jesus is the mediator who bridges the gap between God and humanity believers are invited to live in a relationship characterized by intimacy, honesty, and trust with God. It assures them that their mediator is not distant or indifferent, but deeply involved and inherently understanding of the human condition. 1 Timothy chapter 2 verse 5 is not merely a theological statement, but a transformative truth that impacts how believers view God, themselves, and their approach to faith. It encourages a deeply personal faith practice, rooted in the historical reality of Jesus' life and the eternal truth of his divine nature, offering peace and assurance that God is accessible and reconciliation is complete for those who believe.